Deja vu? It may seem like it since we've made the same announcement 3 times in the last 3 months, with this being number 4, but we are lowering our prices again. First, our 30-day all access went from $349 to $299. Next, the 7-day all access pass went from $119 to just $99. And just a few weeks ago, despite our popular 3-day all access pass, it went down to $59 from $69. Next up is the 90-day all access pass, which is now officially dropped down to $749 from being $849, giving you 90 days of selections from your favorite handicapper for under $6 per week. Remember, purchase wager bucks can now be used the same as cash, including on our new lowered price, $3, $7, $30, and 90-day all access packages, allowing you to save every day on every pick you buy.
Welcome in, guys. Welcome back right here to WagerTalk TV. You are watching Puck Time, and I am Andrew McInnis. I also have Carmine and Bianco with me and Lawrence Presman. We're talking about 4 games today. There's only 5 games on tap for today in the NHL. We're breaking down them all, besides the Arizona Coyotes games. We're talking Winnipeg Jets, Dallas Stars, Oilers Lightning, Avalanche Red Wings, and the Buffalo Sabres at the Montreal Canadiens. Carmine, Bianco, I'll bring you in. How was your night last night?
You know how my night was. First of all, apologies on a losing NHL night, an 0-2 night. I didn't get to see any of the games. I didn't really want to discuss why, but I'll explain why. I was watching the afternoon Champions League games that seemed to be going well and got kind of ill. Massive chest pains, went to the hospital and was there pretty much the whole evening, and get home till late. They're going to continue to do some testing, but they gave me some pain medication that stopped the chest pains, at least in its tracks, for a little while. So I'm going to take a few days off. Lawrence and Brian will be filling in for me on Thursday, Friday, and then we'll see whether that bleeds into next week as well. I appreciate both those guys stepping up and taking over. And Andrew, you're going to continue to steer the ship. It's just a combination of things, but I think a few days off at the very least to recharge. That was quite the scare yesterday. I didn't get to watch the Minnesota game, but judging by the highlights, it wasn't the best of games. So again, apologies on that one, and we will move forward. I'm still going to figure out a way to record the 6 and 60 for Friday and just have our producer run it. And because I love doing that segment, but I need some days off. So we'll move forward, and that's it. Prez, how you doing?
Well, listen, I'm poorer for listening to your news, dude. What the hell, man? I got a lot of plans for the two of us moving. We haven't even spooned yet. Don't you go be having no heart attack on me or any issues with your heart. But I got to tell you, man, I got 2 warrior friends. You are on the show today. You didn't have to be on the show. Andrew and I spoke to you last night, said we were taking care of, we had you covered, but no, you show up to the show. Amazing. Last night, my friend Jeff Krupski pops his shoulder playing hockey, refuses to get off the ice. Between the two of you guys, I definitely don't have it in me, man. I get a nose hair out of place, and I'm willing to miss my show. So, Carm, feel better, dude. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you. I love you, bro. You're the man. You're one of my best friends. Get healthy. That's it. That's my statement today for the show. I'm done. I'm out of here. See you at WagerTalk today, guys.
Carmine, I'm sitting here and I feel insensitive, but I didn't mean that way. It's just habit to say, "How was your night last night?" That's how I introduce the show. So
Andrew, don't worry about it. I get it because you know what I mean. I'm pretty sure you don't want to lead off the show by mentioning something that might be personal to me that I don't even want to talk about. So that's perfectly fine. It's our same intro each and every time. How was your day yesterday? I like it that way because it gives me a chance to be like in this sport, putting the the personal stuff aside, in this industry, I believe transparency is one of the most important things. Don't go on a show or don't go on Twitter and just talk about, hey, I was 4-0 yesterday, or I was 3-1, or whatever. Don't talk about your good days if you're not going to talk about your bad days. Transparency is most important in this industry. So I wanted to first and foremost come on the show today because after a good NHL run, it was a bad NHL night. So I don't want to just disappear on an 0-2 night. I'll come on, I'll do the show, and then the next few days I will take off. But I wanted to, mention that, and then also let you guys know why I'm taking the next few days off, because the guys in our chat are absolutely fantastic. I love our Puck Time viewers, man. They're like family. So I interact with them on Twitter via DM and messages after the videos are posted. So at the very least, I want to let them know what is going on. So that's it.
Absolutely, Carl. Okay. And that Minnesota Wild game, goaltending from Cam Talbot, that had me mad on your behalf. I was cheering for you. If anybody else besides Cam Talbot was in there last night, you had a winner in your pocket. But for transparency, for me, guys, last 20 days profitable, last 40 days profitable, last 80 days profitable in the NHL. Been a little mini slump here past, week and a half. So we'll try and right this ship here and get back on track on a small slate tonight, which sometimes can be very, very profitable. So we'll start things off with our first game, the Winnipeg Jets and the Dallas Stars. Dallas minus 145 at home, Winnipeg plus 125 on the highway. Total is 5.5 in this one. And I'll start by saying this. My buy and sell segment was off to a pretty good start on Monday. We're selling the Winnipeg Jets and we're buying the LA Kings. Well, I am looking once again to continue to sell and bet against this Winnipeg Jets team. The unfortunate part is the price here, the minus 145 for the Dallas Stars. It's not really appealing. It's not something that I want to put my money behind, that type of money line price. When you look at this Winnipeg team, though, coming off back-to-back losses in the Alberta double, like Carmine says, 4-2 loss to Edmonton, 3-1 loss to Calgary. Then you see Dallas. I mean, they strung together two wins, two decent wins together, a 4-1 win over Colorado, and then a 1-0 shutout victory over the Hawks. And then they had that letdown spot over the Arizona Coyotes. I'll tell you what, guys, my plan for this game, my plan for this team here is to put Dallas and LA together in a two-team combo moneyline parlay, turn that into a plus price, and not worry about these chalky money lines. Pretty much mixing my buy and sell segment together. We're fading the Jets and we're buying on the Kings against a pretty rough Coyotes team. So that's what I'm doing here. Dallas and Kings, two-team parlay. What are your thoughts on that, Carmen? What are your thoughts here in this game?
Yeah, I see it. I don't think the price is that bad at minus 145. It likely will steam up, I think, to 150, 155, maybe even 160. Listen, the Stars are making the push. Think about Winnipeg is like they're 9-17 on the road. They have a negative goal differential, I think, is of 18 or 16. In Dallas, after that great start at home, they did drop some games. They've gone 3-4 over the past month at home, but still, they're picking up points and a very good goal differential at home as well too. These are two teams that are battling for playoff spots. The difference between these two is Dallas can find a way of winning those one-goal games. Winnipeg can't. You look at Winnipeg; their last 10 games on the road, they are 3-7. And in those losses, those 7 losses, 4 of them are one-goal games. I think the mark of a good team is you win those one-goal games, and they're just not doing it. The thing about Winnipeg, the only thing about Winnipeg that really scares me is, as bad as they are on the road, they somehow every once in a while pop up with a very good game. They go into Nashville in a spot where they probably shouldn't win, and they win. They go into St. Louis against a Blues team playing very well and steal a win there. But those wins are few and far between for this team. And while I mentioned on a previous show, while they're saying all the right things, we're playing playoff hockey and every game is important to us, they're still not winning games. And this is why they're on the outside looking in. if anything, you take Dallas here at minus 145 because the line is likely going to go higher. So stars for me. Prez?
Carm, listen, this game fascinates me. I mean, you got Dallas, Edmonton, Los Angeles, Anaheim, Vancouver, and to a lesser degree, Winnipeg, all still really playing with something to play, man. And, I think Dallas is going to be a hard team to play against every night. And I think they're going to be a tough team to play against in the playoffs. I think any team who meets them in the playoffs is going to be like, oh, damn. Winnipeg and Dallas remind me a lot of each other. I think both of these teams are slow skating teams. They're both heavy teams. They both check. They both forecheck with 2 down low. They really both just feel similar to me, and their styles really match up to a slow-paced, low-scoring game. That is not indicative of their last 2 games against each other. 4-3 Dallas win, 4-3 Winnipeg win. But, Carm, I like the under in this game. Winnipeg's gone under the total twice in a row. Both their losses, Dallas played to the under 4 times in a row. Dallas has been playing to the under all year, 20-8 to the under. I think this is going to be a slow-moving hockey game, and I will take under 5.5. If I had to bet the side, listen, Andrew, I am not with you on that parlay. The reason I'm not with you on the parlay is you preface the parlay by talking about the odds are too high. You don't want to pay the 150, and that sort of led you towards the parlay. If I were going to do a bet on this Dallas game, rather than parlay it with the LA Kings because you don't want to pay 150, I'd rather take them in regulation. I think mathematically, statistically, the Dallas Stars has more chance of winning in regulation tonight than both Dallas and the Kings have a chance of winning their games. So I would prefer a Dallas in regulation bet.
I see where you're coming from, Prez. The only problem with that to me is that Dallas is one of the league leaders in games that have gone to overtime. So that could be a little bit worrisome.
Andrew, I'm not making a Dallas bet. I like the under in this game, but the bottom line is, why would I need 2 teams to win? The chances of 2 teams winning is less than the chances of Dallas winning in regulation. And if you don't think the Arizona team can win tonight, just ask the Dallas Stars whether they could win tonight, because they just beat them 3-1. So I'm not with you on your parlay. It's your reasoning, and your reasoning is I don't want to lay the 150 with Dallas, so I'm going to find a team to parlay them with. Just take them in regulation.
Well, anybody that takes the Dallas Stars in regulation and it goes to overtime and Dallas wins in overtime and Coyotes win, or LA wins, then I'll win, and the regulation bettors lose if it goes to overtime. So that's kind of the way I see it. I'm avoiding the overtime.
I understand, but like I tell people who play poker, all because you won doesn't mean you played it right. I never, ever look at, I should have bought the hook in the NFL. -3.5. Had I have taken it down to 3, I would have pushed, but I didn't, so I lost. That's one game. Taking a -3 to 3 costs 20 cents. It only happens 8% of the time. It's a losing bet whether you win that game or you don't. Don't isolate your reasons down to one particular game. Look at it from,
I'm not.
You haven't even
heard me.
Games.
You haven't even heard my reasons on the LA game at all. You're just assuming.
I don't care about your LA reasons. I just care about the concept of making a parlay. Making a parlay when you can take.
You're assuming the only reason I'm making the parlay is because of Dallas. That's what you just assumed. You said the only reason you're making the bet is because you don't like the price on in Dallas. I also like LA quite a bit.
Yeah, well,
Maybe I'll make 2 single bets as well on both teams in regulation.
Well, that
I have
I
both
like to
teams in
hear.
regulation and the
That
parlay.
I like to hear,
Prez,
Andrew.
So anyways, let me interject here. It's all about narratives, and you find one to fit the play that you like a lot of the time. Prez, you mentioned the thinking that this game, and it could be, but thinking that this game is going to be a slow, low-scoring game. The two previous games were 3-3 heading to overtime and finished
Yep.
obviously 4-3 both games. What a team does against another team doesn't dictate what is going to happen against the team they're playing that night. And these two have a history of, at least this year, of some lively, high-scoring games. 7 goals for the Dallas Stars is a lot in a game, as it is for Winnipeg, it seems. So I would follow along that train and probably lean to the over here as opposed to the under. And we'll
I
talk
gotta
about
ask,
that
Prez, are you
on Wager Talk
are you
today.
the Phil Hellmuth at poker tables? Are you the guy
I
that
don't know
says
what
like,
that
well, that
means.
was just a
I don't know what that
Yeah.
means, Andrew. I played with Phil Hellmuth for 11 hours about 5 years ago. He
I didn't
sat
ask if you know
directly
the
to my
guy.
left. Shoulder to
that's
shoulder. No,
great.
listen. Shoulder to
I-
shoulder. He didn't say one word for 11 hours, not one word. So no, I am
Well,
not
Yeah.
Phil Hellmuth.
No.
I
That
don't
was
wait
one
for
day.
cameras to talk. I never shut up.
Yeah, no, and I will back that up. The Prez doesn't shut up at a poker table.
Right.
In our league poker tournaments, when he beats you in a hand, he also explains to you how bad you played that hand.
Okay, so all right.
Even
Right.
when
It's a gift.
you beat him in a hand,
I'm a gift.
even when you beat him in a hand of poker, he explains to you how bad you played in
Correct.
beating him in that hand. It's the man is why he doesn't have about 14 World Series of Poker bracelets is beyond me. But that's just I
Listen,
digress.
Carm, it's beyond me too. And frankly, teaching you guys, I'm a gift. I'm a gift that keeps giving, and I get so much enjoyment from making everyone around me better. It's amazing. I'm amazing,
can't deal
man.
with
I
this.
am legitimately amazing.
You should work
Prez,
for
if
Hallmark. You're the gift that keeps on
every-
giving. You should write Hallmark cards. Happy Father's Day, but I am better than you. You know what I mean? Or happy birthday, you're 1 year closer to dying. Like you would write
Yeah.
the best Hallmark cards. Absolutely.
Prez would be the best judge for like gymnastics or figure skating and be like, that was all right, but you could have done it a lot better. That could have been way better if you practiced more.
Hey, tough love,
Getting
baby.
on game number 2.
Tough love. All right, let's jump into the Edmonton Oilers and the Tampa Bay Lightning here. Tampa Bay, they're minus 200 at home. Edmonton plus 170, total 6.5 in this one. To me, there's a few interesting situational spots in this game here, guys, because we have a Tampa Bay team that has not laced up the skates in a real game since last Tuesday. And those last 2 games they've played were against the Devils and the Coyotes. Meanwhile, the Edmonton Oilers played just a few short days ago. It was their 5th game in 7 days, and that one finished 7-3 in favor of the Wild. That was not a good performance for the Oilers. They looked flat from start to finish. Mike Smith looked flat in that game as well. Guys, I'll preface with this, from talking with former NHL players or just talking with, athletes I know, I can tell you guys what, I've been saying this on the show a lot recently. Back-to-backs and all that kind of stuff are way better than long layoffs. Long layoffs are not good. You take away that real gameplay. You take away the speed of the game for even 7 to 10 days. It makes a big difference. Throw in the fact the last 2 games for Tampa Bay were against pretty bottom feeder teams. Now you have an angered Edmonton team coming to town here off that loss they suffered. I'm breaking out the underdog wager today, Prez. Give me the Oilers plus 170 on the road to bounce back against, one of the top teams in the East, back-to-back Cup champions. I'm taking the underdog here, Prez.
Andrew, listen, if I could just take a minute to give you a little bit of advice on how to host shows. I really, I feel like you're in the 7 to 10 zone. I'd like to see you, really just engage with the camera a little more, just make love with your eyes. That would really help as well. Maybe, keep it a little tighter, throw to your guests a little sooner. That kind of thing. We could work together later on this afternoon. I'll cut out 3:15 to 3:18 to work with you on your hosting abilities. I like Edmonton tonight here too, brother. I'm with you, man. This is one of those situations where I kick myself. Boston against Colorado on Monday. I give Boston out on WagerTalk today. Brian Leonard came on that show, gave it out as well. This game is similar to that. I know Boston was playing at home, but here you have, you had a Boston team that this team's going to the playoffs. This team's a good team. It's a veteran team. It's got Warriors on them, and they were like plus 160 or something against Colorado at home. Now we have another team, that team that I think is a much better hockey team than their record suggests, in the Edmonton Oilers. And they're getting plus 170. I don't think Edmonton should be plus 170 against anybody on any ice. I think if you could bet Edmonton at plus 170 every night against Tampa Bay, you're going to win more than you lose. If these two teams played a 7-game series in the playoffs, I think it could go 7 games. So, yeah, man, I am with you. Give me Edmonton at plus 170. And let's cash that one together.
Absolutely love it. And good call there, Prez, with the Bruins there in that spot against the Avalanche. Great plus price there. Make sure you tune in every single weekday to Wager Talk today. Check out Prez and Teddy and all their guests. And Carmine will actually be on the show today with them, breaking down some games as well. Carmine, what are your thoughts here? Can we make it a sweep here with the Oilers?
Nope, not at all. I disagree. Prez says if they played Tampa Bay in a 7-game series, they would win games. They played Winnipeg in a 7-game series last year and lost all 4 games with essentially the exact same team. And no, it doesn't mean the same thing. Listen, the coaching change helped in Edmonton, but let's look at who they beat in those games. They beat San Jose, LA Kings, Anaheim, and Winnipeg. They got bounced by Minnesota, but I get it. That was a brutal scheduling thing, that game, their 5th game in 7 nights. Here's the test for them. They're now going to play Tampa Bay, Florida, and Carolina the next 3 games. Okay, all on the road, of course. Let's see how good this Edmonton team really is. I still don't think you guys are seeing something I don't see. I get you're looking at the plus 170 and it looks ultra attractive. Of course it does. Edmonton has Draisaitl and McDavid and everyone else. They also have Mike Smith in net, who allowed 4 goals on 7 shots against Minnesota. While the rest of the team was flat, he allowed 4 goals. I'm still not sold on their goaltending. I'm going to tell you this. If they make it into the playoffs, they are, with this goaltending that they have, they're going to be lucky to make it out of the first round, this team. The only thing that might keep me off of Tampa Bay tonight is the fact that it's been 7 days or 8 days since their last game, a 7-day break for them. But they're at home. Vasilevsky at home has phenomenal numbers. So we will see if the team comes out flat, the Oilers have a shot. But if Tampa Bay comes out and plays their game, Edmonton won't beat them. I just don't see. Edmonton is not a better team than Tampa Bay. So, given the 6 days off or 7 days off for Tampa, that's the only thing that might keep me off of them. Prez, if Tampa had played 3 nights ago, if Tampa had played 3 nights ago, who would you take?
I take Edmonton here, Carmen. Look, I understand everything you're saying, and I am not going to bet this game. This did not make my card. But I take Edmonton if Tampa Bay played 3 games ago. I think Tampa Bay floats through the regular season. This is a playoff team. This game means a lot more to Edmonton than it does to Tampa Bay. Brandon Katz, man, he's hating on McDavid. McDavid doesn't play at a higher level in the playoffs like the all-time greats do. It kills me. Can you imagine, like, Ovi finally won a Stanley Cup? There is a legitimate chance that Ovechkin will retire scoring more goals than anybody who has ever played this game ever. And it took him, what, Carm? 12 years or so, give or take, to win a Stanley Cup? 10, 12, 13 years?
But this, Lawrence, this is the thing.
Nuts.
It's the thing in every sport. It's the thing in every sport. You are judged by championships. Jim Kelly made it to the Super Bowl 4 times.
25 years old.
Dan Marino retired with no Super Bowl rings. You are judged by championships. So, a true star and a true player. Connor McDavid will be judged until he wins a Stanley Cup. It's just the way it is, Lawrence. You're judged by what you do.
Yeah. Well, I guess Ovi stunk until he won the Stanley Cup, but after that, he was amazing.
No.
He was really bad.
No.
And then he was amazing.
You're over exaggerating.
25 years old. Relax, everyone.
If Ovechkin finished with no Stanley Cups, the narrative would have been one of the greatest players to play the game
McDavid,
that didn't win a cup.
You're not understanding my point. You're not understanding my point.
He's 25. I get your point.
He's 25. Like, if you're going to at least wait till he retires before you Dan Marino the guy.
I didn't Dan Marino.
It took.
It was the commenter, not you, Carm.
No, these guys, and so many people have this narrative. Oh, the Leafs suck. They can't win the Stanley Cup. They're not a playoff team. Austin Matthews is like 24 years old. Come on, people. It took Ovi like a decade to win his first freaking championship. Anyway, I'm bringing the heat, man.
Prez, these are points that I can agree with you on. I'm actually right there with you with that kind of stuff. You know, as much as I have my fun chirping players or teams or how much John Tavares makes, you know, and how he screws up the whole salary cap for the
totally
Leafs.
Worth it. You don't know what you're talking about with John Tavares either,
and Marner
Andrew.
are literally my age. These guys have so much time to get a cup, to make it past the second and third round. But just real quick, Prez, on a different sport, I've seen everyone blasting Zion Williamson this week in the NBA. The guy is 21 years old. The second that he gets fit again and gets his life back again, give the man some space. You've got grown-ass men calling this guy saying he's a bust, he's done, his career is over, when he's already accomplished more in his life than what those people will ever accomplish ever. And he's had so much pressure since he was like 14 years old. He's 21. I bet you Zion Williamson still turns into be a great NBA player. But hey, he's a bust. He's a bust according to all the guys on Twitter. But that's just my opinion. Well, anyway,
Andrew. Listen. Twitter is what it is. Sometimes it could be toxic. You know what I mean? Guys making fun of Zion. Maybe Frank 736298853 with no profile picture and 2 followers. Maybe the guy knows a lot more than we do. It's possible.
He does. I'm one of Frank's 2 followers, Carm.
I love it, Prez. I love it. All right, before we get into our next game, we've got the Avalanche and the Red Wings, actually a historical rivalry. Colorado minus 290 on the road, Detroit plus 235 at home. Totals at 6 here. I just want to bring to everyone's attention, like I always try and do, that Carmine has a 5% Champions League play today in the afternoon. I've already bet the play. I'm locked in. I always try and tell you guys, do not miss out on these 5% plays. Carm, if you want to tell us about it, feel free to do so. But I think your results with these speak for themselves. But tell us about your play and what are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, as I always say, yesterday's was a loser. Let's hope today's is a winner. We have good days, we have bad days. You're never as good as your very best day, never as bad as your worst day. You're just try and finish above in that profitable range. But with that said, when I look at this game and I'm looking forward to this is the weird thing, but I'm looking forward to these two teams in the future playing, not so much tonight because Steve Yzerman's doing a fantastic job in Detroit. He's building that team. And I don't think they're going to be a buyer come the trade deadline because I don't think they want to give up any assets or any picks to try and eke into that 8th spot that might still be available if the Bruins continue to sort of free fall. I think the East spots are locked up. So they're going to be a good team in the years to come, and Colorado's got a great future ahead of them. As far as this game goes, Andrew, I'm going to keep it short and simple. I like the Avs here just because of the fact that the Avs off a loss, and I talked about it before they played the Vegas Golden Knights. The Avs off a loss have been very good this year. They're on an 8-0 run off a loss, and on the year they're 10-3. They started the season slow with some losses, some consecutive losses, which kind of skew that record. But 8-0 off a loss, and they're coming off that 5-1 loss where they didn't look very good in that matinee game on Monday against the Boston Bruins. So I'm going to look for a bounce back here for them. You'll obviously get a better price if you play them in regulation time or if you want to take the puck line. That's it. It's the Avs for me tonight, Prez.
Yeah, Carm, listen, firstly, I agree with you on Steve Yzerman. And it's exciting to watch because it's not only Detroit. Anaheim is an up-and-comer. Ottawa's loaded with some good young talent. It's exciting to watch these teams because, a team like Detroit, you can really see a clear path for them as they move forward. As for this game, I'll make it really easy. 6-2 Colorado, -3.5 for Colorado, and over the total.
Yeah, I think this is one of those the Prez alternative spread type of games here. So I'm with you. I think that they bounce back big time after what was their worst effort that we've seen this season, and what seemed to be a flat spot early start for them at the Garden in Boston. Guys, Avalanche 42-16 last 58 games when they've scored 2 goals or fewer in their previous game. Also, they're 67-20 their last 87 games as a favorite. So we've seen a little bit recently. We've seen them have some letdown spots, as we like to call it, recently. But their bounce back ability is unlike any other. The way this team turns it around and gets back on the saddle is unlike any other team in the league. And these results and these stats, they speak for themselves. So it's -120. Sure, we don't love to have minus prices when you're betting a puck line. But guys, this is one of those opportunities where I would say go right ahead. Take the -1.5. I might look at the -2.5. And let's not forget, over the years, Prez, when he puts those out, those have cashed, Prez. The -2.5s and 3.5s, these alternative numbers there. And it's not like you aren't getting great numbers with those. I mean, there's some great plus price with those as well. Also, if you're interested, you can look at the team total too at 4.5. Good plus price on that as well. 3.5 would be way too much juice. 4.5, I think Colorado gets 5 goals, just like Prez said. He expects 6 goals in this one. So we're looking at Colorado. Detroit, they've got a bright future, just like you guys said. But this is an angry Colorado team coming to town that I believe will show out. Let's talk about the last game of the day we're going to discuss, and it's the Buffalo Sabres and the Montreal Canadiens. They're going head-to-head here. It's a pick'em game. -110 across the board. Total is at 6. These teams played just a few short days ago. The game finished 5-3 for Buffalo. Montreal just recently won back-to-back games for the first time this season. Then they won 3 straight games for the first time this season. Players are playing with confidence. Martin St. Louis has brought in a good mindset to the team. However, they're still very injured. They're still very banged up, still rocking with a third-string goaltender here. Guys, my personal opinion on this game, I'm impressed with how Montreal is playing. I like that top line with Suzuki, Caulfield, and Anderson, but their defense is still very hurting, very injured. And even when it's healthy, it has not impressed me. I don't expect much to change when the last time these two teams met. So I'm just going to look towards the over here, Prez, and sit back and hope for some goals. What about you, Prez?
Well, firstly, these guys in the chat room are awesome. Kevin and these guys telling Carm, if you got heart issues, stay away from the Prez. So true, so valid. Carm, you're on a Wager Talk today a little later. You're going to get the double dose of the Prez. So, yeah. I'm like a double shot of espresso, baby. As for this game, before I tell you that I like the over, which I just told you, I haven't been on the show since Martin St. Louis took over behind the bench. I'm really curious, Andrew, maybe you as a Habs fan can tell me, was there a lineup for Martin St. Louis? Like if the Habs did not hire him mid-season, they would never have him as their coach because some other team was going to get him, like a guy who's never coached a game in his life. There was a whole lineup. This Montreal team can't even get a chance to at the first round pick correctly. I mean, they had a built-in excuse to screw the whole Europe. Weber's out, Price is out, half their team is injured. They're historically bad. And then they go and fire their coach and win 3 games in a row. Oh, my God. If I was a Habs fan, I'd be like pulling my This is a Habs fan before they fired their coach. Carm is a Habs fan after they fire their coach. My God, the stupidity. Anyway.
Just real quick, Prez, he does have a relationship previous with Kent Hughes, the new GM. So obviously there was no lineup for Martin St.
Put
Louis.
him in the summer.
Yeah,
but you put him in the summer. You keep your shitty coach and your shitty team so that you can get a high draft pick. But no. Anyway, I like the over in this game a lot, Andrew. I'm with you. Montreal's defense is bad. And there's speed on the ice, man. That first line from Montreal is finally ticking. You tweet out your hatred towards John Tavares. You mention it on this show. John Tavares' contract is like ice cream compared to Nick Suzuki's. Anyway, I like over the total.
Suzuki's like 3 years younger than me.
And
Tavares is a washed-up player making $11 million a year that has 6 goals in his last 25 games.
On what a good contract is how young a player is, not how good they are. $8-9 million a year for a guy who's shit, but he's younger than Andrew.
6 goals in 25 games and a -10 plus-minus rating on one of the best teams in the East.
You don't watch John Tavares play very often. Anyway, Nick Suzuki's contract is horrific. Take over the total in this game.
His bank account. I'm sure Tavares watches the money come in every week. $11 million.
Yeah, so does Suzuki. They probably call each other on the phone and be like, "Boy, did we screw our teams."
You're comparing a young team. You literally. This is like the worst take of all time right now. You're comparing a young player that just finished his rookie contract to an old player that's about to be like in the later part of his career.
I'm comparing a hockey player to a hockey player. Oh, my God. Wait, can you compare a left-handed guy with brown hair to a right-handed hockey player who's blonde? Is that acceptable? What are you talking about, Andrew? They're hockey players.
I'm shocked
you
right now.
bitch John Tavares out all the time, and you're sitting with the worst contract in hockey with that Suzuki guy. Anyway, over the total. End this show. I got Wager Talk today to do.
I'm shocked. Carm, I'm shocked right now. Go ahead, Carm. Let us know what you think.
Dear God, following Prez on this is like using the bathroom after some guy who had some undercooked chicken for dinner.
Nice.
This is absolutely brutal. But Listen, I get why Montreal made the move. I get why Montreal made the move. Um, when a team is mired in last place and they're not going to get any better, you normally don't change the coach in midseason. And to Prez's point, St. Louis would be there during the offseason anyways. But this is a team that allowed 20 goals in 3 games. They allow where was it 7 to New Jersey. I get allowing 7 to Edmonton, but still pretty bad. You shouldn't allow 7 to anyone. And then 6 to Columbus. It's pretty bad. So he comes in, loses the first 3 games, but he's beaten 3 very good teams: the Leafs, the Islanders, and St. Louis in those 3 games. And they've got, surprise, surprise, a 3-game win streak, and they look like they're having fun while doing it. There's a thing about a team that is having fun when scoring goals and winning games. I talked about it with the Calgary Flames, who are on a fantastic run. They're having fun on the ice. Does it bode well for them? Sure, you could say that that they're going to ruin their positioning in the draft, as far as percentage in the draft lottery. But they're at 29 points right now. They're still going to finish in last place. It's because the teams in front of them are still sort of winning games, like the Buffalo Sabres are still kind of winning games. Arizona's still winning games and competing. Let the Montreal Canadiens win a few games. It's good for their fans. At the end of the day, they're still going to finish in last. To the point of the total here, you know what? The Sabres have been scoring some goals in their games, but they've still been allowing a ton. It's Craig Anderson likely in net tonight, and he's 60 or 70 years old, like the Prez as well too. So this guy's probably this is probably his last year in the league, and Montreal's got some defensive problems as well too. I see some goals in this game, and I think when we do our show best bet, we'll look at that. As far as who wins the game, it's -110 split both ways. The Canadiens have played well against 3 good teams, but who knows? Maybe the Sabres come in and sneak one out tonight. I'm not going to take the game. I'm going to look at the total and look for some goals in this game as well.
All right, all 3 of us. At least we can end the show on an agreement here. All 3 of us liking some goals in this one. Prez, I gotta hand it to you, brother. It's never a dull moment, and no matter what is said, it's always a fun time. I was really tired coming into the show, and now I am wide awake. I feel like I did just have 2 shots of espresso. So good to have you on, Prez. Good to see you, man. What's going on for your clients tonight at WagerTalk.com?
Andrew, my brother, listen, for everybody out there, I mean, look, I love the negatives. I love the positives. I love John Tavares. What is going on with me, dude? I am rolling in college basketball. I have been for the last month, actually. I swept last night 3-0. I'm on a 5-1 hockey run, and I'm feeling good about things again. Tonight I got a big pack of plays, 5 plays. I have 2 NHL plays, 1 still going up, and then I have 3 college basketball plays. You can grab them all at WagerTalk.com. And WagerTalk today, I got Carmine Bianco coming on because, whenever you're a little bit sick, there's only one cure. It's more of the Prez. And Art is going to be on the show as well as Steve Merrill. That's it, my brother. I love that you had me on here.
Quick best bet.
Oh, yeah. The under in Winnipeg, Dallas.
Awesome. Good stuff. Make sure you guys watch Wager Talk today. Prez looking at the under Winnipeg and Dallas under 5.5 there with that one. Back to you, Carm, for your best bet here today.
Yeah, I'm going to look at the game that we just talked about, the Buffalo and Montreal game. While I won't go the full game total, I'm going to look at the first period. I thought this line likely should be about -160-ish, -150, -160, and it's not. It's -135, and that in itself has me playing the over 1.5. I think, like I said, the Canadiens are having fun with this win streak. A 2-game win streak was their longest of the year. They're now on a 3-game win streak. They're scoring some goals. They're at home. There's fans back in the stands. It could be a spirited affair between these two. The last game between these two was Buffalo winning to Montreal, I believe, and beat them 5-3. So maybe we see some some goals tonight, and maybe we see them right out of the gate in the first period. So over 1.5 as the play. 3 games up in NHL. Again, a losing night last night in the NHL. It was a very good run over the last 8 days, 17-7, but 0-2 last night in NHL. So I'm going to look to bounce back. 3 plays on the card tonight. So let's try for a 3-0 night tonight. Transparency is the most important thing. Champions League 1 play up. Again, it's 5% play. I posted some prop bets in the other game, which I didn't like, but I put up with some prop bets in it that I did play. So if you picked up the 1-day all access package, $39, you get all of the plays. So let's try and have a winning day. And I will see you guys next week. Hopefully, I will still do the 6 and 60 if the producers can pull that together for us. I'm going to take a few days off, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Best of luck.
Best of luck, Carmen. Take all the time you need. Get better, my man. And good luck tonight with that best bet with the first period over Buffalo and Montreal. Guys, for me, we're involved a couple plays in college basketball, and of course, a good package up on the ice. A few props as well. Props have been pretty good, but it was a 1-1 night yesterday. Going on a little bit of a slump right now, guys, but it's been a great 2022. Top 3 at WagerTalk.com. We'll try and bounce back here. My power play for today, we're rolling with the Edmonton Oilers. I told you guys earlier in the show, great situational spot here. We haven't seen Tampa Bay play since last Tuesday. Edmonton off that tough loss and their tough situation, playing 5 games in 7 days against the Wild. I think Edmonton bounces back here, and I could not pass up the plus 170. So to recap here, we have the Prez with Winnipeg, Dallas under 5.5. Carmine Bianco looking at the over, but first period edition with Buffalo, Montreal, 1.5 first period over. And I have Edmonton plus 170 underdog versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. On behalf of Lawrence Presman, Carmine Bianco, I am Andrew McInnis, and I will see you guys tomorrow.
Deja vu? It may seem like it since we've made the same announcement 3 times in the last 3 months, with this being number 4, but we are lowering our prices again. First, our 30-day all access went from $349 to $299. Next, the 7-day all access pass went from $119 to just $99. And just a few weeks ago, despite our popular 3-day all access pass, it went down to $59 from $69. Next up is the 90-day all access pass, which is now officially dropped down to $749 from being $849, giving you 90 days of selections from your favorite handicapper for under $6 per week. Remember, purchase wager bucks can now be used the same as cash, including on our new lowered price, $3, $7, $30, and 90-day all access packages, allowing you to save every day on every pick you buy.